So, if you've been paying attention to the tea leaves, looking at all the updates as to what insiders are saying, etc., you might be thinking that this video is out of line. And yeah, that's technically true. Today, we're talking about a guy that has been discussed in contract negotiation rumors, but we're talking about him in the context of a trade. Because today, we are referring to LA Kings superstar forward Adrian Kempe, and asking whether or not he really is that superstar. Now, we've made a few videos about Kempe already, discussing the idea of him getting traded to Vancouver, and then we also discussed what Jeff Marek said about this guy and the Canucks. It's kind of interesting how all of these angles seem to refer back to Vancouver. He happens to be really good friends with Elias Pettersson after all. But the trade talk in regards to Adrian Kempe has just gotten a lot more interesting. Because he's making $5.5 million till the end of this season. He'll be in a pretty hefty contract negotiation phase because Kempe has been a very consistent 70-plus point guy. He's scored himself 40 goals in the past, and he has been one of the best LA Kings the past few years. I think that's very fair to say. This is what Cam Robinson said on Twitter earlier this afternoon in regards to Adrian Kempe. He said it certainly appears that the run of big contract extensions is bleeding into ongoing negotiations. It's believed that Adrian Kempe's camp was originally looking for something in the tens. Sources indicate that now that ask could push closer to 12. So, Kempe saw Jack Eichel get 13.5. He saw McDavid get 12.5. Okay, maybe that one's not included here. That's the outlier. He saw Kaprizov get 17, and he's like, hey, maybe we could go out there and up our ask a little bit too. Instead of 10-point-something mil, it's 12-point-something mil. Mikko Rantanen got 12. You have Kyle Connor, who got 12. These guys were able to get that $12 amount. So Kempe, he's saying in his mind he should be able to do it too. Or maybe not Kempe himself, but the people that represent Kempe. They're looking around, they're saying, yeah, Kyle Connor, he got 12? Okay, if Connor got 12, we can get 12. And I would honestly say that Kyle Connor, more productive than Kempe, so I can understand why he got 12. Let's dive into some thoughts, though, because this tweet, posted by Cam Robinson, was posted onto the RLA Kings subreddit, and this is where we started to see Kings fans responding to this. Downvote me all you want, but it looks like it's time to explore the trade market for Adrian Kempe. And some of the replies are going out there and saying stuff like, hey, teams don't win on overpays. I love Kempe and he shows up in the playoffs, but asking for $12 million is too much. If he loved the team and the city like he says, he'd take $10 million and keep the team in contention. There are various responses here. The guy who posted the post said this, that Kempe is good, but he's not great. He was the best forward last year, but Byfield has passed him, and Fiala is right there with him. He sure as hell isn't worth McDavid money, even if McDavid is on a bargain contract. He'll be in his late 30s when the contract expires, and despite a rising cap, there is zero chance he is worth that AAV in the second half of the contract. If he's not willing to accept the 7-year, $65 million contract, or sub $10 million, it's time to move on. Another reply says he's one of the best defensive wingers in the NHL, in addition to being a 40-goal scorer. He's the 2020s version of Marian Hossa. I'm not saying he warrants 12.5, but if the Kings aren't willing to pay this man his money, then the Kings should just start another rebuild now. Losing Kopitar and Kempe would doom this team to mediocrity. And then there is an ongoing argument as to whether or not Kempe is that good, whether or not he deserves the money. Here's another perspective, though, as posted onto the R Hockey subreddit. Top reply here, as this tweet was posted on there, says, "Great job, Ken Holland. You could have given Kempe the $10 million when he asked. Played hardball with our best player, but not senior citizen defenseman." And then an Islanders fan says, "I'm so thankful that Ken didn't want to move out east." And so with this in mind, I wanted to get into a little bit of an open floor here. Because Adrian Kempe, if he's going out there asking for 12, it falls in line with just the way this new free agent negotiation market is heading. And a lot of these players aren't hitting free agency, might I add. Teams are paying a premium for players because the cap is projected to going up, and they're giving their guys the benefit of staying long-term and being able to cash in on what 8-year contracts are available now. Because 8-year contracts, they're going away in a few years. You're not going to be able to sign them. So if players want to continuously keep on re-upping in the same Austin Matthews or Mitch Marner style like we have seen the past few years in Toronto, you're free to do that, but some other players might just be like, okay, well, sign me for 8. If you sign me for 8, then you'll give me a little bit more, right? Like Kaprizov, like Kyle Connor. If Adrian Kempe is in that boat too, I open the floor to LA Kings fans and ask, do you rather see him get traded because he's not worth 12.5? 12, 12.5, whatever. Is he worth Kyle Connor? I'd say that Connor has scored 90 points multiple times. Kempe hasn't done that. You could debate all you want as to whether or not Kempe would be able to do that if he was on a different team. I think that's fair, but ultimately, he hasn't done it. So does that warrant the same asking price as to what a Kyle Connor was able to achieve? Although, I do agree as well with the perspective that says that if Adrian Kempe leaves, you already know Kopitar's gone. Like, he is a franchise-defining center for the LA Kings. Maybe not anymore, like now, he's not that good anymore, but for years and years and years, he was a staple on that center core. It's impossible to overstate the impact and the quality play that Anze Kopitar provided the LA Kings in the National Hockey League, and you're losing that guy. So if you lose him, and you lose Kempe, and you try to still build a team that's trying to go to the playoffs, it's not really going to work, I'd say. You're either going to need to get a haul for Adrian Kempe in exchange, or find a way to get that guy his money, whether or not you feel the ask that he wants is reasonable or not. Then again, you also have to think about it like, hey, his ask is at $12 million, not what he'd be willing to accept, right? If he's asking for 12, you're proposing 9, you meet in the middle somewhere, maybe you go 11, maybe you go 10-7, maybe you go 10-9, whatever. There are negotiation tactics being put in place here, right? Maybe the sources that be are just leaking out into the media that, hey, we kind of want 12. Kyle Connor got 12, so that's what we want. And then the number gets out there and then they work down from that. Who really knows? So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below how interesting this Adrian Kempe extension situation has gotten. For what it's worth, I don't think it's unique. I think there are a bunch of other players that have gotten similar contract discussions going on around them. I think Pierre LeBrun said earlier yesterday that Alex Tuch is now potentially going to get 12 in Buffalo. Like, that's ridiculous. Even more ridiculous, I'd say, than Adrian Kempe. But if you're an LA Kings fan, does this Kempe talk scare you into thinking more so about a trade? Is that more reasonable in your mind than paying Kempe the dollar amount that Kyle Connor is getting, for example? If you were to trade away an Adrian Kempe to a team like Vancouver, let's just say, what exactly is the price that you would be interested in? We know the Kings want to remain competitive. It's why they have the guys they got. They don't necessarily want to go into a big rebuild, so maybe just Villander and a first-round pick, that's not going to do it for this guy, obviously. But if you are in a position to trade Kempe, what is the price you would demand in exchange? If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you did not, then hey, the dislike button's down there for you as well. Thoughts in the comment section below, because comments help out with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.